Santa Catalina Island, a rocky island off the coast of Southern California in the Gulf of Santa Catalina. The island name is often shortened to Catalina Island or just Catalina. The island is 22 miles, 35 kilometer long, and 8 miles or 13 kilometer across at its greatest width. The island is located about 29 miles or 47 kilometers south-southwest of Long Beach, California. The highest point on the island is Mount Orizaba at 2,097 feet. Santa Catalina is part of the Channel Islands of California archipelago and lies within Los Angeles County. Catalina was originally settled by the Tongva who called the islands Pimugna or Pimu and referred to themselves as Pimugnans or Pimuvit. The first Europeans to arrive on Catalina claimed it for the Spanish Empire. Over the years, territorial claims to the island transferred to Mexico and then to the United States. During this time, the island was sporadically used for smuggling, otter hunting, and gold digging before successfully being developed into a tourist destination by chewing gum magnate William Wrigley Jr., beginning in the 1920s. Since the 1970s, most of the island has been administered by the Catalina Island Conservancy. Its total population in the 2010 census was 4,096 people, 90% of whom live in the island's only incorporated city, Avalon. The second center of the population is the unincorporated village of Two Harbors at the island's isthmus. Development occurs also at the smaller settlements of Rancho Escondido and Middle Ranch. The remaining population is scattered over the island between the two population centers. Over 1 million people travel to Catalina Island every year, accounting for $166.7 million in annual direct spending on the island. Glass-bottom boats tour the reefs and shipwrecks of the area, and scuba diving and snorkeling are popular in the clear water. Lovers Cove, to the east of Avalon, and Descano Beach, to the west of the casino, are popular places to dive. At Casino Point is the Avalon Underwater Dive Park, which was the first non-profit underwater park in the United States. The area flying fish and the bright orange Garibaldi are attractions. Parasailing is also offered. Jeep and bus tours are given of the interior, which is a conservation area managed by the Catalina Island Conservancy. The Catalina Island Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau operates the official Island Visitor Center and provides visitor services, assists tourists with any information on how to get to Catalina Island. Two harbors in the second and much smaller resort village on the island, located at the isthmus of the island, northwest of Avalon. It is the primary landing spot for those who wish to tour the western half of the island. It is accessible by boat from San Pedro and by bus or boat from Avalon. While tourists rarely have an opportunity to surf, two beaches on the backside of Catalina offer good waves, Shark Harbor and Ben Weston Beach. There are also camps called Camp Cherry Valley and Camp Emerald Bay on the northeastern end of the island that offer summer camps for children and Boy Scouts. The Catalina Island Museum, formerly located in the historic Catalina Casino, but since 2016 in a standalone building, is also an attraction as it is the keeper of the island's cultural heritage, which with collections numbering over 100,000 items and including over 8,000 years of Native American history, over 10,000 photographs and images, a large collection of Catalina-made pottery and tiles, ship models, and more. The museum features dynamic exhibits on this history, an art gallery, special exhibitions traveling from around the world, and a unique museum store. Programs include First Fridays at the museum, an annual tour of the historic Tuna Club, a holiday symphony concert, book signings, gallery talks, an annual silent film benefit, and more. From 1927 until 1937, pottery and tiles were made on the island at the Catalina Clay Products Company, and these items are now highly sought after collectibles. Children in Avalon attend schools in the Long Beach Unified School District. There were two schools on Catalina Island. Two Harbors was served by one room schoolhouse, but it closed down in 2014. Students must now travel to Avalon for all grade K to 12. Avalon schools are housed on one main campus that includes Avalon Elementary School, Avalon Middle School, and Avalon High School. Thousands of school-age youths travel from the mainland to study at the Catalina Island Marine Institute every year. There is also a branch of the County of Los Angeles Public Library System in downtown Avalon, adjacent to the sheriff's office. The USC Wrigley Marine Science Center houses research and teaching facilities at Big Fisherman's Cove near Two Harbors for the USC Wrigley Institute for Environmental Studies, maintained by the University of Southern California and named for Philip K. Wrigley. It consists of a 30,000 square foot laboratory building, dormitory, housing, cafeteria, and hyperbaric chamber, and a large waterfront staging area complete with dock, pier, helipad, and diving lockers. The facility was expanded with a donation from the Wrigley family in 1995. The institute is open for public visits as part of its Saturdays of the Lab program. Catalina is serviced by passenger ferries operated by Catalina Express and Catalina Passenger Service. Ferries depart from Orange County in Newport Beach and Dana Point, as well as from Los Angeles County in Long Beach and San Pedro. The trip takes approximately an hour. Helicopter service is also available from Long Beach or San Pedro. Catalina has also been an active port of many cruise lines since the 1990s, with Royal Caribbean, Princess Cruises, and Carnival Cruise Lines making the port a regular for Baja cruises. Specifically, Carnival Cruise Lines, Carnival Paradise has made calls to the island every week since 2004, making it the ship to have the most weekly calls to the port, but left in November 2011 and was replaced by Carnival Inspiration. The ships anchor about 1,000 feet off Avalon Harbor. Passengers disembark through shore boat tendering services. The island is also home to the Catalina Airport, also known as Airport in the Sky. The airport terminal was built in 1946 through the efforts of Dick Probert. The runway was built by Philip Wrigley in 1941, who leveled two adjacent hilltops and filled the canyon between them. It was called Buffalo Springs Airport and was not opened for public use until 1946. By the 2000s, the 3000s runway was in serious despair, and arrangements were made in 2018 to have the Marines replace it with a concrete runway. The work was performed in January 2019, and the airport was returned to service on 3 May. The airport is located 7 miles northwest of Avalon. The runway is 1,602 feet above sea level. Until the time of the airport's construction, the only scheduled passenger air service to the island was provided by seaplanes, which serve Avalon and two harbors. The use of motor vehicles on the island is restricted. There is a limit on the number of registered cars, which translates into a 14-year-long wait list to bring a car to the island. Most residents use golf carts for transportation. Because of these restrictions, there is no regular car vehicle ferry service for visitors. Tourists can hire a taxi from Catalina Transportation Services. Bicycles are also a popular mode of transportation. There are a number of bicycle and golf cart rental agencies on the island. Only the city of Avalon is open to the public without restrictions. The only major road into the backcountry is Stage Road. Under an agreement with Los Angeles County, the Conservancy has granted an easement to allow day hiking and mountain biking, but visitors must first obtain a permit at the Conservancy office, on which they declare the parts of the island they intend to visit. Hiking permits are free, whereas bicycle permits are available for free. Catalina isolation offered good opportunities to experiment with new communication technologies throughout its history. The first of these communication innovations was the use of pigeons by Catalina's gold prospectors. Homing pigeons delivered messages to the mainland in 45 minutes compared to 10 days to deliver mail from Isthmus to Wilmington by regular post in 1864. Even today, Avalon Post Office does not match the airmail service enjoyed by the miners. Pigeons were used to deliver messages for Catalina residents until 1899. By 1902, the first commercial wireless telegraph station was built in Avalon, where the Chimes Tower now stands. On July 16, 1920, the world's first commercial wireless radio telephone toll circuit was opened to the public between San Pedro and Avalon, designed by and installed under the direction of Western Electric Company Bell Labs engineer Louis M. Clement. The system drew other engineers from all over the world to study it. The Avalon Telephone Directory in 1920 listed 52 subscribers serviced by a manual switchboard. People stood for hours to use this new technology, the only drawback of which was that all conversations could be monitored by anyone listening to their radio. Pacific Telephone and Telegraph Company solved that problem with the installation of two submarine cables running 23 miles from Avalon to San Pedro in 1923. Another communication first touched Catalina when the world's first commercial microwave telephone system was installed in 1946. Although microwave telephones had been used for wartime applications, this was the first peacetime use of this technology. Catalina's isolation also left the island as the last central office in the U.S. Bell system to operate entirely using manual switchboard operators. The Catalina Island Exchange was converted to dial in 1978. The island shares area code 310 and overlay area code 424 with parts of Ventura and Los Angeles County. When to visit. Peak travel is May to September when it's warm and dry. Hiking and water sports are popular at this time of year. The Catalina Festival of Art, September, features a street fair and art market. Jazz Tracks, October, is a long-running music festival dedicated to smooth jazz. Winter, December to March, is mild. Catalina Express is an American passenger ferry service that operates scheduled trips between Santa Catalina Island and mainland California. The company began service in 1981 with a single 60-passenger vessel. Getting to Catalina Island. Getting to Catalina Island is fast and easy. It takes only 1 hour via high-speed ferry or 15 minutes via helicopter to get you to paradise. The most popular are the regularly scheduled passenger ferries available in Long Beach, San Pedro, Newport Beach, and Dana Point. Just an hour away from Southern California's coast, experience the picturesque town of Avalon, filled with activities on land and sea, or the rustic village of Two Harbors, with spectacular campgrounds and beautiful beaches. From scenic beauty, high adventure activities, great rest and relaxation, Catalina Island has it all. Take the trip for a day or stay overnight. Catalina is definitely worth a day trip. You can rent a golf cart or ride the open buses or boat. There's plenty to see there, including the botanical gardens and plenty of nice waterside restaurants. The boat ride over is also very pleasant.